The city of Ada is currently working on a major street reconstruction near the epicenter of local government, rebuilding Townsend Street that runs between City Hall and the county courthouse. The project is long overdue, but has been challenging to tackle because of the heavy traffic the area sees on a daily basis.
I really don't know for sure, but I've worked for the city for about 27 years, and I don't recall it having been done in that 27 years. That doesn't mean that we haven't paid it some attention with some patching and some things like that. But I know that the original structure that we've taken out had been here much longer than 27 years.
This first phase of the Townsend Street reconstruction project will result in a brand new street from 12th Street to 14th Street. The project is high on the city's priority list and is being funded by Proposition 1, a 3/4 cent sales tax earmarked for infrastructure improvements.
We're going to be looking at a brand new street. If you look at the far side over there, that's one quarter that we've done already, and you'll see the whole thing will be that way. It'll be a brand new concrete street, striped, ready to go.
Townsend Street is heavily used, and city crews have worked to keep it passable over the years. At one point in the past, the city poured asphalt over the original concrete base, and in subsequent years just repaired it in the most worn places. In some cases, an older concrete base is good to start with, but that was not the case on Townsend Street.
This was a hybrid street, which means it was originally a concrete street that they put asphalt on top of it at some point in time for whatever reason, to smooth it or whatever the case may be. When we were going to reconstruct it, we took that asphalt off and took a look at the concrete underneath, and it was pretty bad, so we're having to do a complete reconstruct. We went ahead and milled it a little bit. Our original plan was to try to leave that structure in place, but when we got to it, it was too deteriorated and we were unable to salvage it because we just wanted to pour on top of it, which would have saved a bunch of time if it had been viable, but it wasn't viable, so we had to tear that out. We milled a little bit more of it out, and then we actually went in and physically pulled it out with backhoes and track hose.
The project will likely take a few months to complete, but of course business continues as usual in the immediate area. There is also a lot of pedestrian traffic around the project, making it a potentially hazardous work zone. Motorists are asked to use extreme caution when passing through the project area.
Public Works has a little bit of a tightrope that we have to walk, because when we have a project in a populated area downtown where there are banks and businesses and people coming in don't go in to pay their bills or whatever the case may be, we try to not disrupt the traffic flow that uses those areas. However, we still have to work here, and when we do, as we've done here, barricade and leave half the street open, we put our workers in a very dangerous position because people have a tendency to pay attention to the barricades and the work, and they don't look for the individuals that are out moving around and working in these environments. So it's a dangerous situation for our workers, and we really would appreciate the people who come through these areas, for us locally as well as state and nationally. When you see construction crews, pay attention and watch those guys, because people get killed every year from this kind of thing.
This phase of the Townsend Street reconstruction project is another step toward a revitalized infrastructure. Thanks to Proposition 1 funding, there are other important projects fast approaching on the horizon. It was also important to move on Townsend Street because its poor condition was something residents had noticed and commented on during their visits to City Hall.
Really bad, right in front of City Hall, and the courthouse has just done all their new renovations and redone their street. So we felt like it was pretty critical to get in here and fix it up and make it nice to tie into the courthouse's project and to go ahead and tie into what we've done downtown already. We'll eventually work our way up and join into the 18th Street project, which goes down to the cement plant. We're also bidding out a project that's going to go from Oak Street, from the railroad tracks right off of Main Street, all the way up to 18th Street, so all this will tie in together.